What's going on, guys? Another quick one for you. I've been working on my first shot times, trying to get those down, and kind of stumbled onto a little tip that helps get the dot on the screen faster. I want to back up and say, if you just found this video, you need to go back and watch my grip video. I'll put a link in a card in one of these corners. Go check that out. It's about 20 minutes, but a lot of people really like it. You get a lot out of it. So the tip for actually getting the dot to show up on the screen and hopefully in the center of the target, that's going to be something else. We'll touch on that. But getting the dot to show up in the center of the screen, I've kind of come down to a certain thing. So if you're familiar with my grip, you know that I kind of torque this thumb, kind of straighten it up, very rigid. And so it looks like kind of that. I have it flagged very high. And I kind of torque this thumb over to seat the gun very firmly in the web of my hand. And I kind of press out through my palm and I pull back on my fingers, so it's very much a front to back with just kind of some added stabilization as I kind of pinch right there and right there onto the grip tang with the gun. And it works on CZs, it works on Glocks, it works on pretty much any gun. So that pretty much puts the dot in alignment when I do this just right. If I'm pulling straight back on the grip and I'm pinching with both sides, it creates a tension across my palm kind of right there from trying to kind of go like that. So if you kind of pull your thumb back like that and kind of press your palm flat, you can sort of feel it. Creates a tension in your hand. Don't create a lot of tension, just enough to kind of firm it up. And then you've still got enough dexterity to pull the trigger straight to the rear. But if you are only applying this tension as you come on target, there's a good chance that the sights are going to show up out of alignment. So you need to be applying this attention either as you're pressing out, or what I've started doing from a US PSA draw, and even just going for the gun. I've practiced concealed carry and it works as well, is as you're going for the gun, kind of flatten your hand out and get it on the gun when you come up, and the dot will be on the center of the screen when you bring it up. Like I've got a great dot there, and it's not a full biomechanical index like you would. I mean, if I just kind of pull it up casually and I've got the dot, it's there. It's right there sitting on my front sight post. So just that little tweak of flattening out your palm and coming up to target gets the dot centered up on the screen, like ready to go. So there's basically two tips: is either start flattening out your palm as you present the target before the dot comes into your line of sight, or what I do is I go ahead and camp my wrist at my side on the draw, and you can see my thumb's already kind of up there. So my hand is not relaxed in my sides. There's a very light amount of tension across the back of my hand. And when I go on there and come up, the dot is already there. But I like to go ahead and load the tension on my wrist to get my wrist locked out, so that when I come up, I can shoot faster and the dot is steadier. So it takes time to develop the grip strength and tension. So rather than having it happen as the gun is on target, I like to do it before it's up. And it's sped up my draw a good bit. Like an aimed shot out to about 10 yards on a difficult target used to be, a 135 to 145. And most recently in the match that I'll post the analysis of, my draw on the classifier to a 10-yard popper was a 1-2-2 in a match setting, which is pretty sporty for a match setting. I mean, I'd like to see it closer to 1 still, but that's not bad in a match. So the sooner you can get the tension on your hand and built into your grip, the more likely you're going to have the dot on the screen. So if you're hunting for the dot, having a hard time with it, I mean, it works the same coming into position entries. If you're just cognizant as you enter a position to make sure that your hand has the feeling it needs to feel to have the dot centered on the screen, there's a good chance that you'll have the dot. So that's my tip for you guys. Hope it helps. If you've got any other questions or anything like that, stuff you want me to look at to do potentially tips on those kinds of things, leave a comment below. Catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.